I would have loved to know. I would have loved to know how important this training is right now. Take, for example, like the all struggling with economics, and it's just going to be of benefit to your participants right now.
Yeah, that's a really good point, isn't it? And everything's changing. And I think it's interesting. So the course is spread over 24 weeks. It's almost going to run like a support group for nearly 6 months for people to share ideas and their experiences. Permaculture is very practical. So it's going to encourage people to think about soil and water and food and harvesting and processing and so forth. And I think in these times of intense economic change we have to take more leadership, and we have to sort of become producers ourselves. Look, we've gone through COVID. We're now experiencing economic, difficulties. There's climate change. I actually think the world needs some new ideas. I think we need to find new ways of being that maybe complement what's gone before, but also allow it to evolve and go forward. We all learned many challenges. I mean, from the pandemic, we learned a lot about distance learning, and we learned that we could be effective and train people halfway around the world. Maybe it's not an equal experience to being in a classroom, but it's still effective. And I think that we've learned some new teaching tools this time around that we can connect to people at a distance, still make the course feel relevant for them, and yet help them navigate through a time of intense change. Permaculture teaches us a really key lesson, which is that change is a constant. Things are always moving and developing, and we have to learn to live, with that and to adapt to that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Steve Jones, for that. I would like to understand if there is a specific group of people or category of people that you are targeting in this training.
That's a good question. And yeah, some people feel they need to be qualified to do this. I think the qualification is enthusiasm. If you want to learn, if you have a thirst for knowledge, and we can really connect with those people. Typically, it attracts pioneers, the people who are sort of receptive to new ideas, people who want to initiate change. They might be farmers, they might be teachers, they might be gardeners, they might be youth. I think we can connect to anyone who's got that thirst for knowledge, because permaculture is only really challenging you to observe the world around you and to ask fundamental questions about how it's working. So it's for anyone. It really is for everyone. I like to say you don't have to be a green, you don't have to be an environmentalist. Permaculture is for everyone who drinks water and eats food, which is, that's all of us.
Thank you so much. I would have liked to understand if you've ever had this kind of arrangements before, or it's going to be your first time to conduct a training of this kind.
I think in terms of teaching the PDC, this might be about my 50th. So I've been doing it for quite a long time now.
Wow, but that's great.
There's a lot of people over the years. It really is. But also we're trying to keep it fresh and it's constantly evolving. We learned a lot from doing, the remote teaching during the pandemic. And now we're trying to sort of blend aspects of online learning with in the field learning. And I'm also, our teaching resources are always evolving, because a lot of it is based on case studies. And actually, that's the thing I think we're most interested in, is to capture the story of how people have used permaculture and applied it in their own circumstances, because it's always unique and it's always really fascinating, the results that we get, whether it's in eastern Uganda or the south of Rwanda, or here in Wales, or in the mountains in Portugal. People are interpreting and applying permaculture in different, to make it relevant to their settings.
Thank you so much, Steve Jones. I'm looking forward to being part of that training. I am really feeling already the clouds falling a lot. So I hope to be part of the training and to understand more. Thank you so much.
It's great to have you on the team and have you part of this, Stella, and thank you for your questions. Bye-bye.